Target, one of the most popular shopping centers in America, CEO Brian Cornell met up with Reverend Al Sharpton after all of the backlash and loss of business following the scaling back of DEI that Target has followed. Since Trump has been in office, there has been a push to get rid of DEI, and it's no longer legally obligated for these companies to follow. And we've seen this crazy scenario where Target scaled back a lot, and a lot of people stopped shopping at Target to the point that the sales in Target are extremely down. And now in Costco, it's like people are literally leaving from Target to go to Costco.
It's over. Target, it is time for you to wave the white flag. For starters, if you think Al Sharpton has the same influence over the black community that he had maybe in the 70s, 80s, you'd be sadly mistaken. Skinny Al Sharpton ain't moving the needle anymore, all right? We not listening to him. That's also another sign of just how out of touch you have been with your customer base.
Hey, Target. Reverend Al had absolutely nothing to do with my decision as a black woman to stop shopping in your stores. I don't know what you would have to do. I don't know what kind of miracle you would have to perform, Target, to get me to ever shop at your stores again. And if I was going to be influenced, it would be by the collective of black women that influenced me to agree not to shop in your stores together, as a way of showing you how we feel about your policies and how insulting and hurtful they were to us as customers. It's actually causing me to do a lot of research. I now recommend to black women as a very effective and viable alternative to these marches. We're withholding our dollars from stores and retailers like you that treat us the way you did.
Somebody tell Uncle Al to go sit down. As for me and my house, Target don't exist. That's just bottom line. The reality is money talk. And that's for everybody to say, oh, it doesn't matter. Target isn't going to do anything. No, trust me. We hit their pockets and now they're trying to be nice. I'm sorry, it won't work.
Target, we ain't going back.
So let's talk about Target and what's been going on, because this situation right here, it's deep, it's layered. Target made a move that they probably thought would go unnoticed or that people wouldn't care about. But black people showed them exactly how much power they have. And now the company is scrambling. Target decided to roll back DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The programs that are supposed to create fairness, provide opportunities, and correct the harm that's been done to marginalized communities in the workplace. But apparently, that became too uncomfortable for them, too political maybe, or maybe they felt like they didn't need to prioritize black folks and other minority communities anymore. And what happened? Black people said, okay, say less. No protest in the streets, no chaos, just silence. Quiet power. They stopped showing up. They stopped spending their money. They stopped engaging in a company that made it clear that their presence and progress were no longer a priority. And now Target is losing billions. Yes, billions. And they still haven't publicly apologized or acknowledged the harm they caused. They're just bleeding financially. And for months now, they haven't been able to recover. And honestly, that's the power of black dollar. That is the power of solidarity. That's what happens when people who are tired of being disrespected say, you won't get another dime from me.
Target is going out of business and they're going to be filing for bankruptcy. I really think that's what's coming because the Target CEO is meeting with Al Sharpton to discuss why they rolled back DEI efforts, because they are in such a hole, because their sales have been massively down. Their foot traffic has been.
Now, I saw that and I like that. Target is around and finding out. But I feel like it's only April. This has been going on pretty much since the election. And the fact that they could potentially file for bankruptcy this year, I think that that's extremely important because it's only been 4 or 5 months of this boycott and they could potentially go bankrupt in only 12 months or so. That tells you the value of our dollar, the value of what we can do if we truly put our mind to it with respect to these companies, whether that be Amazon, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, or any other companies that aren't in support of DEI or the ones that supported Donald Trump and his re-election campaign. So I just think that it's really important that we continue to boycott and not give money to the companies that are just, they have no morals, that they're just dog shit companies, in my opinion. Because if Target goes bankrupt, that tells you the value of our dollar. And it tells you what we can actually do when we put our minds to it. I know that a lot of times it feels very helpless, that what we do doesn't really matter, but Target is a prime example of what we as Americans can truly do to combat this administration.
I'm not about to do no think piece about it, but I just think it's hilarious that the Target CEO reached out to Al Sharpton to try to get the blacks back on his side. Sir, that was the best you had? Like, was that plan A? Because that's concerning. Is that just the only black person with some type of status that you know of? So you thought surely that he could rally us back to your side? But like, also, like, what have you done for us even to come back? There's been no apology, no, hey, our bad. Like, at this point, the board needs to go ahead and just get a new CEO, because y'all about to file for Chapter 13 in a minute.
Now, here's where it gets even messier. Instead of directly addressing the community they hurt, Target decides they are going to meet with Al Sharpton. And this is where a lot of people are like, hold on a minute. Who asked for that? Because let's be real, Al Sharpton is not the spokesman for all black people. He might be a recognized figure. He's been active in civil rights for years. But in 2025, when we talk about who's really tapped into the community, who's really speaking up for black people, especially when it comes to corporate accountability and economic justice, his name doesn't come up like that. A lot of people feel like he's more of a symbol of performative allyship now. Some corporations use when they want to say, see, we talked to the black community, but it's not a real conversation. It's not real accountability. And honestly, that is disrespectful because black people have been loud and clear, not with their mouths, but with their pockets. The boycott worked. Target felt it. They lost billions, and yet instead of actually addressing the people who boycotted, the everyday black consumers who made Target rich in the first place, they go to one person in private and act like that's going to fix everything. That's not how this works. What Target should have done is come out publicly and said, we made a mistake. We deprioritized DEI when we should have doubled down. We see you, we hear you, and we are working to do better. But instead, they went the corporate route. Silence, denial, and now a behind-the-scenes meeting with a figure who doesn't speak for the people most affected. Let's be honest, DEI wasn't just a buzzword for black folks. It was a signal. It was a sign that maybe, just maybe, companies were finally trying to do more than post during Black Lives Matter and call it a day. DEI was supposed to mean hiring more black professionals, creating safe work environments, addressing pay gaps, and making sure products reflected diverse communities. It was supposed to mean change.
You're still thinking with old ideas and old thoughts. And so those old ideas and old thoughts are literally why you are in the position that you're in. Not only Target, but others. You continue to keep reaching out to folks who I'm not going to say are not relevant, but who are not as active nor as forthright and clear on social media as a Pastor Jamal Bryant and others that are out there. Pastor Bryant has been very, very clear, as well as other people. Stay out their stores, and now all of a sudden you feeling it. And now here we are. You want to talk to Al Sharpton. Can y'all make that make sense? You still disconnected. Tells me all I need to know.
Watching the way these companies behave in light of losing the black dollar should really show people just how little these corporations think of us, how easily they lump us all into these monolithic bubbles, how easily they let their stereotypes, what they think of our communities, influence how they make their business decisions. To think that somebody like Al Sharpton is the person you need to turn to in order to appeal to the black community and try and get our business back tells me everything I need to know. You were never really in touch with what we wanted from your store. When everything happened during George Floyd, when everything happened with the BLM movement, you were looking to make a buck. You were looking to capitalize off of our pain. And as soon as it felt like that money was not rolling in at the same level, as soon as it felt like the campaign to support us did not fit your bottom line, you dropped us. And you dropped us thinking that we wouldn't notice. You dropped us thinking that other communities wouldn't notice. You dropped us thinking that it would not mean anything. Well, now it does. You've suffered 11 straight weeks of low sales, low foot traffic. You've lost close to $15 billion in overall sales and revenue. This is the find out stage that Target never thought they would come to, because they believed they were bigger than the program. But you're not. I told y'all we were going to bankrupt a corporation. We might bankrupt a few more before this presidency is out. And the first one up is absolutely going to be Target.
And the second, the political climate shifted when conservatives started screaming about wokeness and DEI being discrimination. These companies folded like paper. They showed that their commitment to diversity was never about doing the right thing. It was about looking good. And when it stopped being easy, they bailed. So, yeah, Black people have every right to be pissed off, because this isn't just about Target. This is about a pattern of companies using Black culture, Black spending power, Black struggle for their own gain. And then when the pressure comes, they drop Black people like a hot potato. And Black people are supposed to just go back to shopping like nothing happened. No. And here's the thing, Target is not even hiding. They haven't made any real effort to rebuild trust. They haven't offered a plan. They haven't said, hey, here's how we are going to make this right. Instead, they're trying to do damage control through backdoor meetings and optics. But Black people see it. They see the game and they are tired of it. You can't disrespect a community and then expect the same community to fund your recovery. It doesn't work that way. And money doesn't just fix that. Let's also talk about how boycotts do work, because some folks out there were saying, oh, boycotting won't change anything. Big corporations don't care. Well, Target is proof that they do care when the money dries up. Black people spend over $1.6 trillion a year in the US economy. That is not small change. That's not ignorable. That is influence. That's leverage. And when used with intention, like it was here, it's powerful. Target underestimated that power. They thought folks would just keep shopping, keep supporting, keep turning a blind eye, but they were wrong. And to every corporation watching this unfold, let Target be your lesson. Don't assume loyalty when you offer no respect. Don't think you can erase DEI and then call one person to clean up the mess. Don't think the community that built you up won't also bring you down. This isn't just a business issue, it's a respect issue. And respect can't be bought. It has to be earned. And right now, Target has a long way to go to earn that respect back. Also, let's talk about what an apology really looks like. An apology isn't a meeting. It isn't a vague press release. An apology is action. It's transparency. It's hiring back the DEI terms you cut. It's committing to real change, not just when it's trendy, but when it's hard. Black people don't want lip service. They want results. They want acknowledgement. They want a seat at the table, not just as consumers, but as decision makers. So Target, if you're listening, go public, be honest, admit the rollback was a mistake, stop hiding behind closed doors and vague meetings. And if you're serious about repairing this relationship, talk to the people, not just Al Sharpton. Talk to the grassroots organizers. Talk to the Black employees who were affected. Talk to the community who stopped shopping. Listen to them. Because this isn't about celebrity or clout, it's about accountability. And to Black folks, don't let up. Keep holding these companies accountable. Keep using your power. Keep remembering that your voice matters and your money talks. What we are seeing right now with Target is a reminder of just how powerful Black people are when they stand together. And to other communities watching this, stand in solidarity, because today it's Target, tomorrow it's another company. We are all in this together, and if we don't stand up now, they will keep pushing the line. Target messed up badly, but the story isn't over. They have a choice to do better or keep pretending nothing happened. But one thing is for sure, Black people aren't waiting for them. Black people already shown what happens when they walk away. So guys, tell me on the comment section what your thoughts are about this, and also remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, bye bye.